I just had a call with one of the fastest growing creators that at least I've seen on LinkedIn. Grew to over 22,000 followers in just a matter of couple of months. He is also an intern at a YC startup. If you don't know YC, Y Combinator, it's a startup accelerator. I believe the world's leading startup accelerator venture capital firm. I love startups, so naturally I asked him about, this opportunity and how he got there, because it's very interesting to me. I love hearing about people's journeys. And he mentioned something to me that even after the call I'm thinking about, right? So it kind of stuck with me. When I asked him about the opportunity and about the YC um, opportunity, he just talked about, you know, obviously he's very happy with the opportunity, but what he's noticed is people glorify YC too much, you know, and he just said, you know, he literally did this gesture to me. He said, people need to think about YC like this and themselves like this. They should think of themselves like this, right? Themselves with YC. It isn't something that you should be glorified. At the end of the day, it's still a startup, just like any other. It's just backed by a very, very reputable firm. So this got me thinking, and this has been a common conversation that I've been having throughout these past couple of months, but especially within the past couple of weeks, because I've been trying to make an effort to try to meet more people and meet more cool people doing interesting stuff within the past couple of weeks. And this has been a recurring topic, which is glorifying a goal. I found this very, very interesting and insightful, and I reflect on myself on this sort of stuff as well. And to my future goals, I apply the same concepts, right? When you glorify a goal, right, whether it's to get into YC or for you university students or, ambitious people out here in university, all the talk is about investment banking and consulting, you know, whether you want to get into McKinsey or Bain or BCG, whatever, Goldman Sachs, whatever it is, right? When you glorify that goal of, hey, I want to work at this prestigious company and that's all I want, you are not focused on the right thing. And this is not me saying that you shouldn't be ambitious. You should 100% be ambitious. I think in life, being ambitious is amazing. It gives you something to strive for. It brings you energy and motivation to do big, big things that excite you. But the thing about glorifying a goal that is so set in stone like that is you get focused on the destination and not the journey. And this is from, I think, my personal experience. When I fixate on a single thing, a single goal, a single destination, if I do not reach it, which happens naturally in life, sometimes you don't hit the goal, you feel like a complete failure. You feel like you are not made out to achieve that goal, and you feel like you are just not cut out for it. And you just feel really bad about yourself, right? But what you don't understand, where you can kind of only where you can understand much better in hindsight or after the fact is that this whole journey towards that goal is what you're really benefiting from, right? This thought just popped into my brain that I want to articulate now, which is when you work for a promotion, you are working toward that promotion. But once you get that promotion, what happens? Your job title changes, right? Obviously, and the responsibilities that come with that. But it is the improvements during that journey before the promotion that prepares you and that allows you to move on to the next step with the new responsibilities, right? So either way, if you go through that journey of improvement and you don't get the promotion, you still have acquired all the skills that are needed for that new responsibility or that new job title that you could get from any other company or opportunity, right? So it's more the journey that really is important here, and that is something that I want to nail down, right? When you fixate on a goal, you get distracted and you do not focus in on what's important, which is the improvement of the journey. I believe it is from Lao Tzu. I probably butchered that name, but a philosopher who says, I said that so badly, probably. The person, I might be paraphrasing here. The person who loves walking will walk way further than the person who loves the destination. It's pretty easily understandable, but what they mean, let me put it into context. A person who I could really love a destination, for example, Iceland, right? Let's just say that, Iceland. I could really love that destination and I could try to pursue myself walking there in this journey to Iceland, right? But I will give up after I'm tired because I am not walking all that way, right? I like the destination. Obviously, I'd love to visit, but I'm not walking to Iceland. But a person who loves walking might think about the goal. The person who loves walking might think about the goal of the destination of Iceland, but they're there because they enjoy the journey. They enjoy the walk. And they might enjoy the views on the way, right? Which is an added bonus benefit, which is the views. But generally, they love walking. They love the exercise, right? If they were to walk in the direction of Iceland, right, they would probably end up there quicker, or if not, the other person who just loves the destination might not even end up there in the first place, or they will take much, much longer to get to the destination. That might be a horrible example, but I think people watching might understand. So that's the main point I think I want to talk about. And something that I will try to reinforce in my brain for the future is to try less to obsess over the destination, but obsess over the improvement throughout the journey. I think that's what's important. Hope you learned something.